Time for United States of Europe making fun of the EU the American way. Well, EU elections are less than 1 year away and the clock is ticking for the current crop of EU commissioners in Brussels to make their mark. But if you look a little closer, you'll see that they have indeed been doing just that. In particular, female EU commissioners who are proving the EU means business. For more on this, it's time for an EU deep dive. Now, it's true, when you think of strong female leaders in the EU, your mind goes to Germany's Angela Merkel. I mean, sure, Emmanuel Macron can match handshakes with Donald Trump, but it's Merkel who makes Trump afraid to shake hands in the first place. Trump is like, for me, a handshake, it's like arm wrestling. And I looked at Angela, I thought, I don't want to start a fight that I maybe can't win. Now, it's easy to make jokes about Merkel and Macron, since it's clear that Macron does like older women. But based on their body language, does Merkel have a similar thing for younger men? Now, the answer is yes. It's just that her favorite boy toy is not Macron, it's Mark Rutte of the Netherlands. But when a trade war breaks out between the US and EU, Merkel is like good cop, who's bad cop, EU Trade Commissioner #1, Cecilia Malmström. Now, Malmström is a name, it's like a combination of calm and maelstrom. You mess with Celia, you get the quiet storm. How did Malmström react to the White House's tariffs? She didn't say much. Just, today is a bad day for world trade, and then she quietly filed 2 lawsuits at the World Trade Organization and announced retaliatory tariffs on US goods, from denim to bourbon to Harley-Davidson motorcycles, which sucks for jeans-wearing, whiskey-drinking, Harley-riding Europeans, but it really sucks for US makers of denim textiles like South Carolina, Trump country, makers of bourbon like Kentucky, Trump country, and Harley-Davidson, which has its headquarters in Wisconsin, which is now milk-drinking Trump country, also beer-drinking Trump country. Although, with an upcoming increase on imported aluminum, cans of beer are about to get more expensive. I can't wait to see how Trump blames that on Hillary. But the EU has been talking to the US about trade for months. According to the EU Commission President, Malmström has had 15 or 16 meetings with the US Secretary of Commerce, but they don't listen. Wait, 15 or 16 meetings to determine what could have been said in just one meeting? Sounds like you can't pin that on the US. Sounds like more of an EU-style thing. But the US Secretary of Commerce, who is that again? Oh yeah, Wilbur Ross, whose name you may remember from earlier reports on this show as a man with links to the Bank of Cyprus, which is infamous for being up to its ears in Russian money laundering. And he doesn't just have links, he's on the board. He basically initiated a takeover. And now, for good measure, Wilbur Ross is reportedly connected to Putin's daughter. So if you've been wondering why the Trump White House is starting this trade war in the first place, maybe just ask who stands to benefit. For one, Russia. It's not like jeans-wearing, whiskey-drinking Harley riders will pay any less now in Russia, but at least they'll stop crossing the border into EU because it is there cheaper. Meanwhile, Politico reports potential good news for the EU negotiators. Trump is actually a terrible negotiator. Specifically, the book deal for Trump's Art of the Deal was a terrible deal. Now, we all know Trump has repeatedly said, Art of the Deal, best book ever, best book since the Bible. I'm such a great deal maker. I make all the best deals. But, according to Politico, in 1985, Tony Schwartz was sitting in Donald Trump's office saying, if you're going to write a book, you should call it The Art of the Deal. Trump said, I like that. Do you want to write it? And while most writers for hire receive a flat fee or a relatively modest percentage, Schwartz got from Trump an almost unheard of half of the advance and also half of the royalties forever. And it didn't even take a lot of haggling. He basically just agreed. The Art of the Deal. Not only did Trump not write his own book, it's clear now he's never even read it.